All right. What? Okay. So,
It is your
what,
turn, sir.
is it my turn? Okay. Let me go back to where I had some decent trivia. Okay. Just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome to the podcast. Hi. Here we go.
Are you welcoming me or are you welcoming the listeners?
Both.
Taylor and Alan talking about movies. They may be best friends, but they always disagree. Taylor and Alan, I seen that.
Okay. I have picked a movie.
Yep.
It is one of my favorites,
Uh-oh.
which I say that every week.
Yep.
But this one is...
Is it the
legit.
scariest movie you've
Great.
ever seen?
It is not the scariest, maybe the funniest.
Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay, so I'm going to read off some trivia.
Yep.
And I think that you've seen this movie, I'm pretty sure, but we'll find out. The working title for this movie was Dead Last.
Dead Last. Okay. It's ringing a bell, but I'm not sure which bell it's ringing.
You should have guessed it already.
Oh.
The actor Neil Flynn, are you familiar with his work?
Yeah, from Scrubs, right?
Yeah, the janitor.
Yep.
This is his film debut.
I'm getting him in my head confused with Norm Macdonald, so that's probably a bad sign.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that. Okay. The director, David S. Ward, is actually a lifelong Cleveland Indians fan. His inspiration for creating this movie was simply because he thought it would be the only way he would ever see the Indians actually win anything.
Yeah, it's,
You got it?
I know what it is. I know it's Charlie Sheen is the pitcher.
Yep. In fact, here's a piece of trivia on him.
He's got AIDS.
Charlie Sheen admitted to
Oh.
Sports Illustrated that he took steroids to prepare for his role. He believed the steroids he took caused him to increase his fastball to 85 miles an hour,
Wow.
which is a very Charlie Sheen thing to do.
I cannot remember the name of this. It's, the only thing that keeps popping in my head is A League of Their Own, and I know that's wrong.
Is which one?
Major League.
There you go.
There we go. I knew I was on the right path with League, but
Major League it is. You've seen this, right?
I think we talked about it. I haven't actually seen the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, we might have talked about it
We
just because
did.
it's hilarious. This movie I first saw when I was a child. I actually saw this at Joey's house,
Ooh.
and we watched it almost every single day that I went over there. It was like the greatest movie. Plus, it was very different from me because I was still pretty young at this point,
Yeah.
and it is very adult themed.
Yeah, so if you were hanging out with Joey, that must have been like right around junior high?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Junior high-ish times. So I will admit, the first time I watched it, the language was a little jarring.
Yeah.
But, like, it was funny, so it was... I was like, there's no problem with this. It's funny. This is what people are into now.
This is what adults do.
Yeah. And his parents didn't care, so I just kept it at his house.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you did that a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, probably in my earlier years, I had to.
Because your parents were pretty strict about everything.
They were very, very strict. We have talked about Adventures in Odyssey. That's about borderline what we could watch.
That was NC-17 though, I thought.
Adventures in Odyssey, yes.
Yeah. I'm surprised your parents let you watch that.
The only reason I didn't care about really hiding it, like, you know, from my parents, was because the rating, which it might even be PG-13 to be honest.
Major League or Adventures in Odyssey?
Major League.
Oh, okay.
It's really just the language. Like, there's no violence or sexuality, really, so I didn't feel like I was really doing anything too bad. But anyways, do you know the plot of this movie?
I know they're a bad team. I'm assuming they get a new coach. And the new coach whips them into shape, but the players don't want to listen to the new coach because they want to just be a bad team. And they're
I believe
probably...
you're thinking of the Bad News Bears.
Maybe. They're probably going to get shut down if they don't win. Is any of that?
Little bit. So what happens is the owner of the Indians dies.
Oh.
And his fancy rich wife inherits the team. She has no desire for it. She doesn't like baseball. She doesn't like Cleveland, which is where they're based.
Yeah.
So she decides that she wants to move the team to Miami. At this point, there was no baseball team in Miami.
Yeah.
So she wants to live that Miami Beach lifestyle. So she figures out that if the team is bad enough, then they can relocate. So she has her guys put together the worst of the worst players out there, like the old washed-up veterans, the rookies who have no experience, this and that, and they put together just a terrible team, thinking that if they lose enough games, she can move the team. And, of course, they're pretty bad because they're either washed-up veterans or they're rookies and they don't have the experience. But they're funny, they're classic characters. About midway through the season, and they're doing terrible, like as expected, they find out that was her plan and are pretty offended by it. And so they make it their goal to win enough games to get second to last place, which will mean they won't be relocated. So that's pretty much what they go for. But they end up going, and it kind of ends, but I think they end up going to the playoffs. But that's where the movie ends. They play well enough to go to the playoffs.
Oh, they don't win the World Series?
No. They don't even. It doesn't even talk about what happens in the playoffs. Their whole thing was getting there.
So if they got second to last place, why wouldn't they just still move? Doesn't the owner get to decide kind of regardless?
I see. That's one thing that I don't fully understand that process. I would think that if the owner had the money, they should be able to. But also, it could be fan attendance based, and if they're doing really bad, no one's going to come and watch, and there's a reason to move. There's not a big enough fan base or anything like that. Something along those lines.
But I just thought if you own something, you get to decide what's going on with it.
Well, like I said, I don't know exactly how the process works. Like right now,
Taylor,
like the rate. Yes.
Why don't you know what's going on?
I'll be honest with you. You probably don't know this about me.
I can guess.
I have never owned a baseball team.
Oh, I thought you were going to say anything.
Like, right now, the Raiders, the football team, are attempting to move to Las Vegas. But they can't just move. It has to be, like, voted on by the union and by the league and all this stuff, so I don't know exactly how the process works.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Gotcha. It seems like a weird plot device.
Yeah, it's probably not realistic. It's just they made it up for the movie's sake. Do you have any memories of this movie?
The one thing that I kind of remember is Charlie Sheen as the pitcher could pitch extremely fast but very inaccurate.
Yes, he was very wild.
And that was kind of the whole... That's pretty much all I remember. They were trying to get him to...
He's a rookie. He's got lots of potential. He could throw in the hundreds, but he's wild. And then he develops the name Wild Thing. But come to find out that it's really just because he needs glasses.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So they end up getting him glasses, and then he, kind of improves.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I know about this movie. I can't really contribute much.
That's it. That's the gist of it. It's just a funny movie. Like it's a movie that I could watch over and over again and not get tired of it.
So if it was on TV, what rating would you give it? Break the TV, turn the TV off, watch till commercial, watch the movie, grab popcorn, or invite people over.
I definitely at least watch it all the way through.
Yeah.
And if I got popcorn, maybe I will make it.
I would probably watch this if it came on.
Now, do you think that you've seen it all the way through, or probably not?
No, I'm like almost confident that I've never seen it all the way through. I've definitely never.
Is that why you would watch it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen it from beginning to end for sure. I may have seen all the parts, but I don't know the story.
Right.
So I would definitely, if it came on TV, I would definitely watch it. It
does come on like what is it, TBS? They used to air it a bunch.
Yeah. I probably won't ever go out and like try to watch it. You know what I mean? Like I won't go out of my way, but
right.
If it came on, I would watch it.
Yeah, that's what I felt. And even Crystal loves this movie, which surprised me.
Yeah, that's
so
weird.
She'll put it on every once in a while, and we'll just watch it. It's just a funny movie.
Yeah,
and it's got and even that, I think it's got a pretty good story. So,
who else is in it?
So it's got Charlie Sheen, what's his name? Tom Berenger.
Tom Berenger.
Corbin Burnson. It's in the 80s. It's got a lot of 80s. Rene Russo, Wesley Snipes, Dennis Haysbert. Those are some of the maybe more recognizable names.
I'm surprised O.J. Simpson didn't get in this one. That was about that time, right?
Yeah, but he was a football player.
Yeah, but he was an actor.
He was what?
An actor.
Yeah, when did he... I don't know when his acting career took place.
Well, he was in all, like, the Naked Gun movies.
Yeah, that was late 80s, right?
Yeah, it was all around the same time. Like, he was considered one of the best athletes of his time.
Yes. We'll always have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you know what? He's got movies going on at the same time.
Yeah. It just seems like something that would be up his alley with the Naked Gun movies.
Well, they didn't need him. They had Wesley Snipes.
That's true.
Who was not good at baseball, but he was really fast.
So, if they remade this movie, who would you cast in it?
As who? As Wesley Snipes' character?
No, just the baseball team.
Just what?
As the baseball team. Who would you cast if they remade this movie now? Who would you want in the movie? O.J. Simpson, obviously.
Of course.
Current O.J. Simpson.
If he can get parole, I would love to see O.J. there.
No, but really, who would you want in the movie?
I would have to say... I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Because you got to get a mix of the younger guys and the older guys. I would say all the guys who were the rookies in the original come back as the veterans.
So not a remake, but just 20 years later?
Well, so they have 2 sequels to this movie that I have not seen, that I won't do it, because I've heard they're pretty bad.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So I don't know if they explore that, because I think the third one is called, like, Back to the Minors.
Ooh.
So, yeah. So you could have Charlie Sheen as the washed up, coked out pitcher. Wesley Snipes. Tom Berenger's still alive. He can come back as a coach.
How do you feel about Charlie Sheen?
In this movie, I thought he was great. In real life, he is a wackadoodle.
Well, I know because you used to watch
I did used to watch Two and a Half Men.
2.5 Men.
And I liked it as long as Charlie Sheen was on it. It was great. And we tried watching it afterwards. We watched a full season with Ashton Kutcher, and it just was no good.
No.
We stopped watching.
Yeah, I remember when my wife and I got married, we were living with you and your wife for a little bit at that Aztec
Yeah.
house. And I think you fell asleep watching it, and it was on. The DVD, you had the DVD in, and it was playing the song in the beginning for like 2.5 hours or something like that. We were just like,
It was stuck on the menu.
yeah, it was
Man,
nightmare
man,
inducing.
Man.
Yep.
Man.
It was awful.
That is hilarious.
Did you watch any of his new show? Well, he's Anger Management,
No,
right?
I couldn't bring myself to do it. I saw previews for it, and it looked poor.
Yeah.
It looked badly written.
Yeah, I don't think
And
it did very
also,
well.
he's... I've lost interest in Charlie Sheen.
All right, well, I don't have anything else to say about Major League, do you?
I would say out of all of the movies that we've talked about, it's at the top of the list as far as it still holds up.
Oh, really?
Like, it's probably actually even better now than it was when I was a kid, because as a kid, I probably didn't even get half the jokes. So I would say it's even better as an adult than it was as a kid. And I loved it as a kid. So it holds up.
This is one of those statements where I have a hard time trusting you. Because I feel like if I go watch it, I'll be like, now my expectations are, oh, this is a great movie even for now. Opposed to if I would have just watched it, like, oh, this is just an old movie that used to be funny, but now it's kind of,
I would say it's timeless.
I know, that's why I'm saying I'm going to have, my expectations are going to be set too high.
Well, I think that you will need to watch it and report back to us on your thoughts.
We'll see. I might.
But yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
I will show my kids this movie
Tomorrow?
when they're a little older.
Oh.
Yes.
A little older by a day.
In fact, they've probably already seen lots of parts of it just because we put it on.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Well, we'll be back with my choice next.
And we will now close with some music.
Oh, okay. Go.
Man, 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 something. I think that's all they say. Man,
Now we have to pay for that.